नीचे कर लेना, नीचे करो, नीचे पीछे तंग हो, रुक जाओ 2 मिनट।
That is, in fact, the self-styled godman being released from the Panchkula hospital. Remember, the High Court has cancelled his bail in the 2006 murder case. The bail was granted earlier by the Punjab and Haryana High Court. Now, he's going to be produced in court today at 2 p.m. He was arrested last night after days of stubborn resistance. Remember, the police finally arrested Rampal and also recovered 6 bodies from inside the ashram, and 425 of his supporters have also been arrested. He will be produced in court today. He's already undergone medical test, and his vital stats also to be normal, except for an increase in blood pressure.
हरियाणा पुलिस के ऊपर लोगों के ऊपर आपने इतना बंदी बनाए रखा है। जितने लोग आपके आश्रम से निकले हैं वो सब कह रहे हैं कि उन्होंने आपके लोगों ने उनको बंदी बनाया हुआ था। रामपाल जी, आपके लोग कह रहे हैं आरोप आपके ऊपर लगे हैं, क्या कहते हैं? वो सब झूठे हैं। आपको आपके कहावत है और आपके जो जिस तरीके से नहीं, वो तो मैंने थोड़ा किया।
That is, in fact, the self-styled guru Rampal claiming that he is innocent. Remember, this is after he resisted arrest for many days, turning Barwala into a war zone as the controversial religious leader was arrested from his ashram in a late-night swoop by the Haryana police. He will be produced in court at 2 p.m. this afternoon, and he's already undergone his medical test, and there seems to be only a change in his blood pressure. Now, his supporters have belonged to the military and were in fact ex-cops and ex-military. Now, his supporters may be armed because several of them are still holed inside the ashram. Pankaj Upadhyay, our correspondent, still with us on the phone line. Pankaj, we understand that Rampal has in fact been released from the Panchkula hospital, but it doesn't stop here. He's going to be produced in court at 2 p.m. today. But what we've learned last night, that there's been an FIR against him in connection with the deaths of the 6 people in the ashram and 8 other FIRs. If you can just elaborate on that for us, please.
और आपके जो जिस तरीके से नहीं, वो तो मैंने थोड़ा किया।
Pankaj Upadhyay with us on the phone line. Pankaj, we understand that Rampal has in fact been released from the Panchkula hospital. He'll be produced in court at 2 p.m. today. But an FIR has been filed, another FIR, an additional one has been filed in connection against him with the 6 deaths that took place in the ashram and also on the ashram and his supporters, plus 8 other FIRs. If you can actually elaborate on that for us, please.
There are other charges of sedition, rioting, land grabbing, and inciting violence. So there is no escape route for Rampal from here on, along with his army. And just a few moments back, I was having a word with his lawyer as well, because we needed some sort of a clarity as to what had happened last night when he was arrested. So the first question that I asked him was whether this controversial government had surrendered or whether the police had arrested him. There was no answer from the lawyer. Second question was, how was it that there were armed people inside the ashram? The lawyer had no answer to this as well. Thirdly, I had also asked him that all along this controversial government had maintained that it was only on health grounds that he was not appearing. Mind you, there were 43 occasions when he did not appear, and that was why notice was sent not just to Rampal but to the state government as well for its lack of proactiveness. Even to this, the lawyers have no answer. They say they are going to be meeting Rampal when he appears at around 2 p.m. and only then they would be coming out with a statement as to what exactly had happened inside the ashram. What we are also learning now that intelligence had a good know-how of the exact location inside the ashram yesterday itself, but they were trying to work out a solution. They had a word with Rampal as well, but they were trying for a way out in the sense that they were waiting for the right moment so that maximum of women and children who were being otherwise forcibly used as shield could be taken out only, and then action could be taken. So the lawyer says at around 2, when they have a word with Rampal, they would further elaborate on what had happened. As far as the FIR is concerned, now the police and the Hisar police and the High Court here have played it very, very smart. As I was maintaining, even if a particular person has n number of FIRs against him, unless of course you have bail in all of them, there is no escape route for you. So what happens here, even hypothetically speaking, even in contempt of court case, if he were to get a bail here, he is already arrested here because his bail has been rejected. Additionally, FIR has been registered in Hisar as well, which I said comprises of many sections, including that of sedition as well, which will have a minimum punishment of life imprisonment as well. So from here on, there is absolutely no escape route for Rampal.
And Pankaj, what mystery continues to shroud the 6 deaths that took place, in fact, in the ashram, and it's not over as yet. Considering that there are over 2,000 supporters that are still holed up in the ashram, and what's worrying is that these supporters may be armed.
To the same effect, what I'm learning from my police sources as well, there was a time when the intelligence units had gathered enough information that his own militia had turned against him, in the sense that they were not listening to Rampal. It was at that point of time. Now, these are all unconfirmed reports that we are learning off record for the police sources. They are saying his own militia had turned against him after a point of time. And learning this, Rampal decided ultimately that he would be finally surrendering to the police. And that was why everything was happening in a quiet fashion, in the sense that police and paramilitary forces were not barging inside, because they had learned through their sources that militia was finally getting very, very restless with the kinds of operation that paramilitary and police was carrying out, and that how all the disciples, which including the women and children, were making desperate attempts to get out of the ashram. Now, these are all unconfirmed reports, but this is what we are hearing to the police sources here.
Negotiations are still on between the police and the crack commandos of Rampal. In fact, sources telling us there are about 2,000 people still inside. This is the main gate. In fact, this iron gate that you see was the only entrance and exit inside the ashram, and the people, there are still people inside. My camera person will show you this. After this iron gate, there is another gate, a massive gate that you see behind. Massive security arrangement. It was a fortified ashram, almost battle ready. In fact, there are on the both sides, you can see some boards of people, those who used to come in, where their equipment and their belongings used to be kept. Apart from that, you can also see that there are a lot of commotion inside. Up there was where almost a watchtower where Ramdev's commandos and their security forces used to be there. CCTV cameras were installed all across so that they can keep an eye on what was happening everywhere. And because of that, that is the problem that the police had. A completely fortified ashram that you see, many levels of security. We have been told that even after this gate, there are many such gates, enclosures where people were kept separately, families were kept separately. These are the first visuals, in fact, of this enclosure that you are seeing here. This is the place where it was fortified and the commandos of Rampal had taken position. This was the place where they, in fact, fought a battle almost with the police and didn't let them in. So now the police certainly going inside, trying to just search the entire premises and make sure that it is okay, because there have been a lot of rumors that there were weaponry inside. With camera person Shakil, Ankit Tyagi in Hisar for Headlines Today.